My dear brothers and sisters, in the gospel passage today, we reflect on Christmas as experienced by people who are alone. Paano nga ba nagpapasko ang mag-isa? Sa mga kabataan pa naman ngayon, lagi nilang niloloko kapag nag-iisa ka daw sa araw ng Pasko. Ang tawag nila sa Pasko mo ay malamig. No? Malamig daw ang Pasko kapag ikaw ay mag-isa. Pero paano nga ba magpasko ang mga mag-isa sa buhay? In our gospel reading today, we hear the story of Anna, the prophetess. She was married for 7 years with her husband, but she was widowed. Her husband died. And so, she stayed in the temple day and night, praying inside the temple until she was already 84 years old. But even if she was alone in the temple, praying alone for many years, even without her husband, she was not a picture of a woman deprived of love. In fact, even if she was alone praying in the temple, she was full of love. That is why when she met the baby Jesus, she was full of joy, full of love to see the baby Jesus. And in her fullness, she was able to share to others in the temple the joy of having to be able to proclaim the coming of the redemption brought by the Messiah. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, even if she was alone, she was still full of love. Even if she was alone, she was not deprived. She was full of joy, full of devotedness, that she was able to share this love to others. Kahit na mag-isa, hindi ibig sabihin kulang ka. Kahit mag-isa ka sa buhay, punong-puno ka ng pagmamahal. That is why our first reading today from the first letter of Saint John, the letter reminds us not to be fooled by the love of this world. Maybe you are alone, or maybe you feel alone. Saint John said in our first reading, not to resort to worldly love, sensual lust, enticement for the eyes, a pretentious life. All of these promises that they will fill you with love, but instead, this sensual love will just drain you of love. That is why Saint John in our first reading reminds us to avoid these things. Do not believe the world that you are lacking in love and you need to fill yourself with sensual lusts. This will not fill you. In fact, this will drain you out of love. My dear brothers and sisters, today, let us be reminded of the story of Anna in the gospel reading. She spent years in the temple alone, but she was still able to share love and joy to others. For people who are alone, for people who feel alone this Christmas, you are not lacking in love. People who are alone are not deprived of love. People who are alone are not deprived. On the contrary, you are full of love. My dear brothers and sisters, in this celebration of the Mass, let our hearts be filled with the love of Jesus, so that in this fullness, even if you are alone, you can share the joy and hope of Christmas. Amen.